Welcome to test review. Let me erase this. This is from period 5. Okay. So test review homework. I'm going to move you up a little bit. Hold on. Test review homework. Usually in homework review, I only do a few problems, but I think I'm going to go through all of them. We'll see if I get tired and change my mind. Okay, that means you should try them by yourself. But I want you to see how to, I want you to try them by yourself for sure. But I want you to be able to see how to do all the problems, so I might just do all of them. But I might get tired. We'll see. All right. So, number 1, it says simplify the expression, and you have 9x plus 4 in parentheses minus 8x plus 4. Okay. We talked about this in class. We are not multiplying these together. Okay? There is a minus sign in between, so you are not multiplying, you are subtracting. There is a minus sign in between, you are not multiplying, you are subtracting. So, we're doing nothing to this one. Just rewrite it. Okay? But then, you're pretty much distributing this negative sign. If it helps, you can draw in the invisible 1, okay, and then distribute. So negative times 8x is just negative 8x. Negative times 4 is negative 4. When you have a negative sign outside your parentheses, it just makes everything the opposite. Okay? So if I had negative 4, it would become positive 4. Oops, positive 4. So it just makes everything the opposite. So if it's negative, it becomes positive. If it's positive, it becomes negative. No, I forgot what it was originally. Okay, it was plus 4. So then minus 4. Okay. Now you just combine your like terms. So this has an x. Let me switch. This has an x. This does not. This has an x. This does not. Okay. So 9x minus 8x is just x, or 1x, but you don't have to write the 1. You can, but we generally do not. And then I have, so I took care of that and that. Now I have 4 minus 4, which is 0. So that's plus 0, which is just x. So if you get an answer that's just x, I mean, you should always double check your work, but that's okay. That's valid. 4 minus 4 is just 0. So those cancel each other out. So it's just x. All right, that's number 1. All right, number 2. Try it by yourself first. You can do it. Try it by yourself first. Okay, did you try it? Okay. So same idea as the first one. You have this negative sign in between. So that means you're not multiplying, you're subtracting. You are subtracting. So we're not doing anything to this, so just rewrite it. All right, and then once again, you're distributing this negative. So what that does is everything in here just flips and is now the opposite. So positive 2x becomes negative 2x. Negative 3 becomes positive 3. Right? It makes everything the opposite. Now, combine your like terms. This has an x, as does this. This does not, this does not. 5x minus 2x. Make sure you don't forget about your negative sign. 5x minus 2x, 3x. And then you have negative 5. Don't forget your negative sign, negative 5 plus 3, which is 2. And that is your answer. All right, number 3. Here we go. X plus 2 times x minus 2. There is not a plus sign in between. There is not a negative sign in between. You are multiplying these together. Multiplying the binomial, in other words, distribution in 2 parts. Okay, so start with your x. Just ignore your 2. Distribute x times x. X times negative 2 is negative 2x. All right, we're done with the x. All right, 2. 2 times x is 2x. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. But bam! All right. Combine your like terms. This is the only x squared. There's no other term with an x squared. So, x squared. And then this has an x, and this has an x. Negative 2x plus 2x is 0. So don't worry, you can write 0 if you want, or nothing, because they cancel each other out. So we've dealt with that, we've dealt with that, we've dealt with that, and then minus 4. So it's just x squared minus 4 is your answer. All right, moving right along. Remember, I'm a video. You can fast forward me if you don't need to see these problems. Okay, so really 2 different ways you can do it. Maybe I'll do it both ways just to prove that you can do it either way. I personally start out with distributing this 2 first. Okay, so that gives me 2 times x is 2x. 2 times 1 is 2. All right, and then that goes in parentheses because then I have to multiply it by 3x. I'm just rewriting this, 3x plus 2. All right. Now multiply it like we normally would. So ignore the 2, start with the 2x, but bam. 2x times 3x, 6x squared. All right, 2x times 2, 4x. All right, we're done with the 2x. All right. We're done with him. Move on to your 2. 2 times 3, sorry, 2 times 3x is 6x, and then 2 times 2 is 4. All right, good. Oh. Good. Well, then combine your like terms. This is the only term that has an x squared. There's no other x squared, so just rewrite it, 6x squared. And then this has an x, and so does this. Combine them. 6 plus 4 is 10, so 10x, and then plus 4. And that would be your answer. Hold on. I didn't mean to yeet my marker across the room, but I did. Okay, I got it. And there's hair on it. All right. So the other way you could do it all right, so same problem. But I had someone in my 5th grade class say, can't you leave the 2 and do that at the end? Yeah. So you can ignore the 2 and just, so we're ignoring the 2, and so we're going to start with our x. Pretend the 2 is not there. X times 3x is 3x squared, is that big enough? Yeah. And then x times 2 is 2x. All right, we're done with the x. All right. So then you have 1 times 3x and 1 times 2. All right. I would keep ignoring this. Now I would combine my like terms, which 3x squared, 2x plus 3x, 5x. All right. So there's that answer. Bam. Now bring your 2 into the action. So now I'm going to distribute my 2 onto all of this. So then 2 times 3x squared, and then 2 times 5x is 10x. And then 2 times 2 is 4. So you get the same answer, whichever way you do it. All right. This is number 5. Did you try it by yourself? Try it by yourself. You need to practice this. Don't just copy me. Copying me does help, but trying it by yourself and then fixing any of your mistakes will help you learn it better. So try it by yourself first. I'll wait. Okay. All right. So once again, you can either distribute the -4 first, or you can wait until the end. I like to do it first. That's just who I am. So -4, I'm going to distribute it. -4 times 2x, -8x. Okay. And then -4 times -1. Be careful. Your negatives are going to cancel each other out, so it's positive. All right, put that back in parentheses. Let's multiply it by x minus 3. So once again, ignore your 4. Multiply your -8x. Distribute your -8x. So -8x times x. -8x times -3. -24x. Nope, it's not. Oh, I'm right on the glare. Hold on. There. Okay. It's not -24x. Negative times a negative. Positive. Okay? And then we're done with him. We're done with -8x. So we move on to your 4. 4 times x is 4x. And then 4 times -3 . -12. All right? And then combine like terms. So I can't combine him with anything. Rewrite it. 24x plus 4. And then -12. Ta-da! Okay, we're switching a little bit. Now it says solve for the given value, and this is number 6. They give you the equation, and they want you to solve for, first is f of 1. Okay. Once again, try by yourself first. This means f of 1. This means that x is equal to 1. You see how they put the 1 where the x is? There's the x, and they put a 1. There's the x, they put a 1. So x is equal to 1. If it's inside the parentheses right here, then it is x. So x is 1. So everywhere that you see an x, you're going to substitute in that 1. So 4 x squared, so I'm substituting in my 1, minus 3, and I'm substituting in my 1 for the x, and then plus 2. Just rewrite that. All right. 1 times 1 is 1 times 4. Important! Do not multiply these first. Some of you like to go 4 times 1 is 4 squared. No, no. No, 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 no. Do not multiply first. Do the exponent first. Exponent first. Exponent first. Okay? 1 times 1 is 1. So you would have 4 times 1, and then negative 3 times 1 is negative 3 plus 2. F of 1 equals 4. 4 times 1 is 4, minus 3 plus 2, which equals 4 minus 3 is 1, plus 2 is 3. So F of 1 is equal to 3. Do the exponent first. All right, that was F of 1. And then I think the other one's F of 0. Yes. Okay, that means that x is equal to 0. So everywhere you see an x, you're going to substitute in 0. So 4. And then here's an x, so I'm going to substitute in my 0. 0 squared minus 3, substitute into 0, plus 2. All right. Zero squared is just 0. So you have 4 times 0, which is 0, minus 3 times 0, which is 0, and then plus 2. So F of 0 equals 2. Done! Nailed it. All right, this is number 7. So they give you an equation and solve for the given value. So we have to solve for F of 2. That means that x is equal to 2, and so I'm going to substitute 2 in everywhere I see an x. Negative 2, substitute it in, plus 5, substitute it in, minus 5. Just rewrite that. Okay. Equals. Do the exponent first. So help me. Do the exponent first. 2 times 2 is 4. So you have negative 2 times 4. Plus 5 times 2. And then minus 5. Negative 2 times 4. 10 minus 5. So F of 2 equals negative 3. Ta-da! And then the other one for this one is negative 2. Okay. So now substitute negative 2 in everywhere you see an x. So I have negative 2, and then substitute in negative 2 squared plus 5, substitute in, and then minus 5. Okay. Negative 2 times negative 2 is 4. So I have negative 2 times 4, which is negative 8. 5 times negative 2, negative 10. And minus 5. Combine all these together. Negative 8 minus 10 more is negative 18. Minus 5 more is, so F of negative 2 equals negative 23. I should be writing all these down so I can post the answers later. Or else I'll just have to do them all again. Hold on. I'm going to pause you. All right, this is number 8? Nope. Yep. Number 8. So it's still solve for the given value. So we need to solve for g of 0. All right. Couple ways. Well, yeah, couple ways you could do it. You could multiply these out like we've been doing, right? So you'll get x squared, something. Or you can just substitute in and see what you get. We'll do it one way for this one, and I'll do it the other way for the other one. Works for me. Okay, so once again, 0 is equal to x. So everywhere you see an x, put in a 0. That's 0 minus 2 times 0 plus 3. All right, and then let's reduce that. 0 minus 2, 0 plus 3. Negative 2 times 3. All right, so g of 0 equals negative 6. Okay, I just substituted 0 in for x and then reduced it. The other one is 2. Or negative 2? No, positive 2. Okay. So you could just do what we did for 0 and substitute 2 in for x. Okay, or you can multiply all this out and then substitute it in. So it's always good practice. So we'll start with the x. X squared plus 3x, down with the x. Negative 2 times x. Negative 2 times x is negative 2x. And then negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. Okay, and then combine like terms, so x squared plus 3x minus 2x is x minus 6. And then, now substitute in your 2. So, 2 squared plus 2 minus 6. Hold on a second, that didn't check out. Why did that work? Hold on. No, just kidding, it did work. Okay. So then that's equal to 2 times 2 is 4, plus 2 minus 6 equals 4 plus 2 is 6, minus 6 is 0. Okay, equals 0. I think it's easier to just substitute it in right away, but it's up to you. Okay, moving on, number 9. Solve for the given value. So x is equal to 2. So I'm going to substitute 2 in wherever I see an x. So once again, you could multiply this all out first, but I would just go ahead and substitute it in. So 2 plus 5, and then 2 minus 4. 2 plus 5. 2 minus 4. Negative 14. Ta-da! And then the other one is negative 5. C of negative 5, so x equals negative 5, substitute it in. Negative 5 plus 5, and then negative 5 minus 4. Negative 5 plus 5 is 0. So really you can already stop, because 0 times any number is 0. 0 times any number is 0. But we can figure it out. Negative 5 minus 4 more. 0 times negative 9 is 0. G of negative 5 equals 0. Okay. Okay, number 10 has A, B, and C, and you have to say whether it's true or false. So the first one, f of 0 equals 3. Is that true or false? What does that mean? That means when x equals 0, f of x is 3. So when I substitute in 0 for x, I'll get 3. Is that true or false? Okay, so a way to do it is just substitute 0 in. So that would be 2, 0 squared plus 2 times 0 plus 3. 0 squared is 0, so 0 times 2 is 0, plus 2 times 0 is 0, plus 3. So f of 0 equals 3. That is true. Okay? So whatever they give you in here, just substitute it in. The next one they say is 1 and 7. So f of 1 equals 7. Is that true or false? Well, figure it out. You can substitute 1 in for x. So 2, substitute it in, 1 squared plus 2, substitute it in, plus 3. 1 squared, 1. So 2 times 1 is 2, plus 2, plus 3, which equals 7. 2 plus 2 is 4 plus 3 is 7. So this is once again true. Okay, and the last one. Oh, they say 2 and 14. All right, so true or false. So substitute in 2 and see what you get. So 2, substitute it in, plus 2, substitute it in, plus 3. 2 times 2, so do the exponent first, so 2 squared is 4, times 2 is 8, plus 4, sorry, 2 times 2 is 4, plus 3, 8, plus 4 is 12, plus 3 more is 15. So that one is false. 11 through 13 is in your notes. Hopefully you wrote it down, but if you didn't, it's in the notes I posted on Canvas. Make sure you can answer 11 through 13. It is in the notes I posted on Canvas. Okay, 14. Alden is 6 feet tall and he is out hunting. He sees a bird. He shoots his arrow up into the air at 60 feet per second. Don't worry, he misses the bird. We can use the function. Here it is. F of x equals negative 10x squared plus 60x, because he's shooting it at 60 feet per second, 60 feet per second, and then plus 6 because Alden is 6 feet tall. I don't actually know if that's true. He's just my example. Okay. So, period 4. We didn't do one of these in class, so make sure you pay attention and understand this. We have this function about Alden shooting an arrow up into the air. He shoots it at 60 feet per second, and we have this plus 6 here because Alden is 6 feet tall. Okay, what does this mean? Gravity, right? As soon as you shoot, well, anything, as soon as you throw something up to the air, gravity is automatically trying to push it back down, right? That's how gravity works. So that accounts for gravity, which is why it's negative. It's trying to get it back to the ground. Okay. So, it asks you, what does f of 1 mean? What does f of 1 mean? It doesn't say solve for it, that's what we do next, but first just what does it mean for this particular story? It means that x is equal to 1, and x is second. So f of 1 is after 1 second. Okay? I did this with period 5. What if it asks, what does f of 2 mean? So f of 1 means after 1 second. F of 2 after 2 seconds. Capiche? All right, so that's A. B, you have to solve for f of 1, right? Yes, it says find f of 1. So, just like we've been doing, you're going to substitute 1 into your equation and solve. So f of 1, negative 10, substitute it in, plus 60, substitute it in, and then plus 6. So 1 squared is 1 times negative 10 plus 60 plus 6. I lost what I was doing. Oh, and then just combine them all. Negative 10 plus 60. Not 70. Negative 10 plus 60 is 50. Plus 6 is 56. So after 1 second, the arrow is 56 feet in the air. That's what that means. After 1 second, the arrow is 56 feet in the air. The next one, what would, oh yeah. Let me erase this. I'll leave that. It asks, what does f of x equals 0? What does that mean? Okay. Notice the difference. In this one, you're substituting 1 in for x, right? X was equal to 1. This one, no, you're not substituting anything in for x. They're saying that f of x is equal to 0. If you were to make a table, it would be x and f of x. Okay, where x is seconds and f of x is feet from the ground, right? So they're telling you, well, that's hard to see. I'll switch to red. They're telling you that this is equal to 0. What does that mean for this situation? Think about it. Okay, if f of x equals 0, 0 feet, that means the arrow is at 0 feet in the air, which means what? If something is at 0 feet in the air, it's on the ground. If it's 0 feet into the air, it's on the ground. Okay, so f of x equals 0 means the arrow has hit the ground. All right, let's pull apart our equation one more time and think about why this makes sense. So you have Alden. He's shooting an arrow up into the air. The arrow starts out at 0 seconds before Alden shoots. The arrow starts out 6 feet in the air. Why? Or 6 feet, sorry, 6 feet off the ground. The arrow starts 6 feet off the ground because Alden is holding it. And Alden is 6 feet tall. So the arrow is 6 feet off the ground when he starts. One more time. Before Alden shoots, he is holding the bow and arrow. And since Alden is 6 feet tall, that means the arrow is already 6 feet off the ground. The arrow does not start on the ground. The arrow starts in Alden's hands, and Alden is 6 feet tall, so the arrow is 6 feet off the ground when we start. All right. And then he shoots it. Ching! After 1 second. We already figured it out. It is 56 feet into the air. Okay? So generally when you shoot an arrow or you throw anything into the air, right, it gets higher and higher, and then it hits its peak, and then it starts coming down, right? If you're throwing a ball in the air, or science, I have a marker. So I'm going to throw a marker in the air, and it's going to go up high, and then it's going to come back down. Gravity. Okay, so when it hits the ground, so it starts off in my hand, I throw it up, and it hits the ground. Okay. F of x equals 0. That means when the arrow has hit the ground. Okay, we don't have to figure out when that happens. We just have to understand that if f of x equals 0, that means the feet off the ground is 0, so it's on the ground. Okay? All right. So be careful on how they write it. If they write f of x equals 100, that doesn't mean x equals 100. We don't know what x is. We know that it is 100 feet off the ground. F of x equals 100. Okay, on the other hand, f of 5, then we're substituting in for x. So if x is 5 seconds, how far off the ground is the arrow? Okay, so be careful on how you read these. All right. Ooh, I like this last one. When does the arrow start dropping back down to the ground? When does the arrow start dropping back down to the ground? And I give you a hint. I say make a table. All right. So we already know at 0 times 0, then it's 6 feet off the ground. After 1 second, we figured it out already. It's 56 feet off the ground. What about 2? Well, there's not a pattern yet. Sorry. You're going to have to substitute in 2 and solve. -10, substitute in. Substitute in. Oh, I was going to use red, huh? I forgot. Okay. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 2 is 4 times -10 plus 60 times 2 plus 6. All right, and then combine them all together. So 120 minus 40 is 80 plus 6 is 86. Okay, so the arrow is still getting higher and higher in the air. All right, let's try the next one. What about 3 seconds? All right, substitute it in. -10, 3 squared plus 60 times 3 plus 6. 3 times 3, 3 squared, right? So 3 times 3 is 9 times -10 plus 60 times 3 is 180 plus 6. Once again, now just combine everything. 180 minus 90 is 90 plus 6 is 96. Okay, now I am seeing a pattern in the table. Okay. So that's 3 seconds. So we're going to have to figure out 4 seconds because it's still getting higher. But now I am seeing a pattern in the table. Look at the table. See if you can find the pattern. Okay. Find your first difference. You don't have to do this. I'm just doing it because I see it. 6 to 56. 50. 56 to 86 is plus 30. 86 to 96 is plus 10. Okay. If you see the pattern, awesome possum. If not, we can keep going. So we're at 4. So substitute in 4. -10, 4 squared plus 60 times 4 plus 6. All right. 4 times 4 is 16. So 4 squared is 16 minus 10, or sorry, times negative 10. Negative 160 plus 60 times 4, 240 plus 6. All right. That'd be 40, 80? I think that's 80. 240 minus 160 is 80, plus 6 is 86. Make sure I did my math right. Yes, I did. All right. Okay, now we figured out our answer, right? We were trying to figure out when the arrow starts dropping back down to the ground, okay? Well, he shoots it, and it's getting higher and higher and higher, and now it's getting lower. So I would say at 4 seconds, it starts dropping back down to the ground. Okay, the pattern was, we're subtracting 20, subtracting 20, and then 96 to 86, negative 10. Once again, you are subtracting 20. You don't need to, yeah, that's just, if you can see the pattern, awesome. There it is. But you were just substituting in points until it started getting low again. So it went from 96 to 86, so it's starting to drop back down to the ground. Whew! Done.